Might be recording.
Now
it just started. Okay. Hey, ho, hey,
Ho,
ho,
hey, ho.
Welcome to a Christmas
Welcome.
episode. It's a Christmas episode, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's almost exactly not Christmas. It's the second week of Advent. We still got 2 more weeks till Christmas.
When is this episode coming out?
Who knows when it's
January.
coming out?
February. Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Easter. It's going to be like March or April, I feel like, before it comes out.
Oh, boy. Really?
So happy Easter. It's Advent. It's Christmas. Happy whenever you're hearing this, possibly March or April by the time you're hearing this. We love you, ladies and gentlemen. We've taken you on a wide-ranging journey of epic proportions. We did System of a Down in each and every track, and my name's Ben.
And my name is Michael.
And this podcast is called Polymuse.
It sure is.
Do you have any breaking Polymuse revelatory explanation that they need to understand the nature of the being of the beast that we're dealing with this evening on the experience?
Well, we're going to recap our...
That's what I meant.
Yeah, well, yeah. Are we starting with that? Our S-tier grades. Okay, let me tackle that real quick here. Your S's. We've got 14 of them for this mixtape this season.
And we're, Desert Island mixtape, System of a Down, full discography. If you haven't been listening to the other 20 hours of content, don't know where you've been.
Don't know where
Start
you've been.
back in episode 1 with Linkin Park.
Your S-tier. Sugar suggestions. War. Snowblind, Shame, and The Metro. Of course, a few covers in there. Really good. Prison Song, Chop Suey, Bounce, Forest, and Toxicity. Those, of course, were all off of the Toxicity album. BYOB, Stealing Society, and Vicinity of Obscenity are your only 3 off of the Mesmerize Hypnotize duo.
Dang.
Minor, Sweet Pea, Sugar, the 2 off the self-titled debut, of course.
The Hand
Song.
album.
Yep, the Hand album. Chop Suey, Deer Dance, Toxicity, Science, Mr. Jack off of Toxicity, BYOB, Question, Lost in Hollywood, Attack, Vicinity of Obscenity, and Lonely Day.
Boom. So we're shipping off. We're on the deserted island. We did it, guys. We picked out our tier list. We did it right in front of your eyes. We did it debate style, podcast, not debate style, but conversation, podcast, bringing it to the table, hashing it out, defending our position, explaining our grades, taking you on those nostalgia corners.
What would be your cover art?
Cover art.
Or your CD art? Or if you put it in a case, a burned CD case.
I want the Hand album, and then every tip of the finger are the different eyeballs from Mesmerize and Hypnotize.
Ooh.
And it has like a tattoo of the Toxicity Hollywood sign,
like
and then spray painted over it is just, I stole this album. I wrote these songs by Ben, not System of a Down. Stolen album.
I like that. Yeah, I think I'd have some like face mask representing each person on the cover. I do like the hand. Maybe I have all their hands present.
4 hands.
Yeah, 4
5,
hands
8
present.
hands. 8 arms to hold you with.
Lost in Hollywood in the back.
Lost in Hollywood.
It'd have
baseball.
a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, you could do like a full mural almost. There's songs that are Beatle-esque in that they have like a concept, a character. Like you see those pictures of Beatles songs where it's like all the characters, like they talk about Eleanor Rigby and Fool on the Hill and I Am the Walrus, and it's just all the guys from all the Beatles. You could do that with System of a Down.
You sure could.
Put Mr. Jack in there.
Mr. Jack.
Put who we thinking of? Kill Rock and Roll, the little dead rabbit. You put him in there.
Yep.
You put some crazy like prostitutes, psycho, groupie, cocaine, crazy. I buy my crack. I smack my right in Hollywood.
On the back, you could have an orgy.
Put that in there. You put Surge in there. Put spiders in there. Hubert.
Yeah.
Darts.
Prison bars.
Yeah. And then a jet pilot crashing in.
You have to have the Toxicity in place of the Hollywood sign in the background.
And a roulette. And what are we forgetting?
Chop Suey.
Cigarro. That might be a little. Some
Forest,
of the stuff.
aerials, something to represent the outdoors.
Just some outdoor. They're just outside. That's for aerials. And they're all eating chop suey.
There you go. Chop suey like my grandma used to make.
Did she really, though?
Yeah.
I listened back to that episode, and I wondered if you were.
Yeah, no, yeah. She
Grammy made chop suey?
A chop suey recipe. A little meat, some veggies.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't I know about that?
It's just...
My mom makes it, so.
Does she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know Grammy made it.
Oh, it was on the other side of the family.
Oh.
So it must be recipes from the non-shared side of the family.
What?
Yeah.
You got the good chop suey?
Some side of the chop suey.
Is it good?
Yeah, very good.
Can you like
Gotta have good meat.
Is that how the secret to the
That's the
to
secret.
suey
Yeah,
to
good
chop
meat.
the suey
Yeah, good fresh meat.
to sue the choppy?
Chop suey.
That'd be
That's
a
the
weird
secret.
poster. Some of it would be X-rated material. Now that I think of it,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be quite the.
Well, again, this is your mixtape CD with your burned CD and like the plastic case with the slip cover and the whatever.
It's called "Don't Download This Album.
There you go.
Pay for the royalties to support."
Don't stream this album.
Speaking of royalties supporting people, System of a Down got back together for a fundraiser.
Yep.
It's the Aid for Artsakh campaign to
To help.
aid people in that region.
Yep. Armenian people and the Republic of Artsakh, who are in conflict, of course, started in considered like a second battle there. It took place in the 90s as well. And of course, historically, they've had conflict in that region and prosecution, as we've discussed, of the Armenian people. So unfortunately, things flared up again in 2020 up through 2022 as we're recording this, actually. And I'm sure, unfortunately, there's probably issues going through 2023 as you listen to this. Lots of unfortunate things there for those folks and that particular group of people, which has been persecuted in that region. They're doing their best to support those folks.
So System, is doing the good thing, and they got back together to use their talents to put aside their differences and record a couple tracks to make some money to send to the folks in that region. So it's awful that we've had a global tragedy, like more conflict, more wars, but that's what sets these guys into action, and that's what gets these guys rocking, and that's what pulls the trigger to get these guys to, not that we want anything bad to happen, but it's just that's how they came out of the woodwork this time around, where they felt it wasn't about the need to make the records. It was more about how they could use that to actually change the world. And that's kind of what they've been about the whole time. I wish they would just do it more often. Hey, if you can raise that much money with 2 songs, do an album and give the whole album to Armenia.
That's true.
Why not?
So it was their first single release since Lonely Day in 2006.
Right.
There's a 14-year difference because these tracks came out in 2020.
There you go.
And it was the first singles to not have producer Rick Rubin
Oh,
helping
wow.
out. Yep.
Was it just self-produced at that point?
I believe so. Yep.
That's kind of
Pretty good
cool.
deal.
So they had learned enough to just kind of run the session and figure out what they had to do. And
Yeah, and they were still tour from time to time. You remember 2 of their spouses are sisters, so they're still around each other, just conflict in how to record going forward. And, they discussed about getting back together and continue to move forward with other projects separately, and this schedule kind of disrupted their independent recording schedules as well, and really threw a number of things in the loop. I'm surprised more songs collaboratively didn't come out of this, but they did a good thing here.
it's pretty good. They all do have their solo music. I found out John Damayan even has a solo album that I was unaware of until recently.
Oh,
and it's
really?
cool. Yeah, with different vocalists, and Serge is one of the guest vocalists.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they've all got their own thing. I just wish they would keep collaborating. It makes a lot of sense for them to work together to make something. I mean, I'm sure they get way more views on them when it's called System of a Down than when it's called whatever else. And could be, they don't have to do it for fun. They don't have to do it for profit even. They can do it for other people. They do it for just because we want the music and to bring awareness to.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Also, Serge has projects on top of projects.
Yeah, and his are
Don't have it all in
fun
front
and
of me.
serious, and he's got other stuff he wants to dedicate
Albums
his life
and poetry
to.
and tons of stuff.
Important
art.
work.
And we had Scars on Broadway from Darren.
Check out our
multiple
5-hour
albums.
Scars on Broadway double episode.
Yep. And of course, our drummer friend here participated in a couple of both of those projects. Didn't know he branched out on his own. And then, Serge crossed over there. Interesting to see all the things that they've done. And even, when 2 of them pair up together for different things.
So should we play a song? Should we protect the land? Should we kick it to the boys for one of the final times here?
Let's do
Let's
it.
protect the land, ladies and gents. Yeah, dog. It's Protect the Land, dog. Instant classic. I mean, if they did a greatest hits, which they never did, they would put Protect the Land on there. I mean,
I think so.
this rocks. This is as good as their other hits.
Yeah, this is a fantastic song. It's messaging. It's like good driving instrumental. It's good production. It's just good all the way through.
Good singing.
Good singing.
Good playing.
collaboration.
They got a lot of space in the rhythm where it's just like boom, ta, doom,
It breathes,
and
yeah.
you bang your head to it. Like it's got enough air, enough space. It's the way they constructed the riff, the way they recorded the instruments. It's just a full. That makes it even more powerful power trio. Like you can hear the bass, the drums, the guitar, the voice. That's it.
Yeah.
And like you can hear the space in between, but that's the way they wrote it, and it's good. It makes them even stronger. That each instrument stands on its own. There's not like a ton of feedback, a ton of weird stuff in there. It's just good, clean, not clean, but crunchy, separated instruments.
Yeah, we always like the crunch. We always talk about the writing. There isn't a ton of
Not a ton
depth, but there's enough to get the message across, and it works for what they're trying to do, right? The enemy of man is his own decay. If they're evil now, then evil they will stay. If they will try to push you far away, would you stay and take a stand? It's good messaging. You could sing along. It's got space to breathe. You can
sing along.
It's also very, I don't know how we describe it. There's those songs that make you stand up and
pump your fists.
And yeah, I'm going to sing along. Must protect this land. Fist pump,
They're
fist
like
pump.
anthems.
Yeah, anthems. There
or
we
like
go. Yeah.
war cries.
Yeah.
And finally we have one that you don't feel bad about singing. Like they've got all that like we will fight the heathens and crazy like whip you up into psycho mode. Like this one's actually like the good character singing instead of the evil character singing. And, you know, they've spread light on it however they need to. You know, they explain the different facets of conflict and war, and not even in particular wars, but just they really run the gamut of like how societies get to that level of craziness. But the point is, this is finally an anthem that you want to sing. You're not singing about death and destruction. You're actually singing about protecting from death and destruction.
Yes, which is something that they could have weaved elements of.
It could have been
every other album they ever did.
That's why I was disappointed that Scars on Broadway album. It's like I get that they have to show you like the evil side and be like television and this and that, and it's all pornography and it's all, but it's like they gotta flip the coin at some point.
There's got to be some other elements.
What is the other element? Like you've got your holy mountains, you've got your, you know, reaction to it.
Yeah.
And then it's just they live it, dude. It's the power of it. It's they live their lives and they survive, and that's how they carry on. That's how they protect the land.
Yeah. I do think it is just a touch long.
But
long. They have this nice bridge build up, which is a good variation from, of course, the rest of the song, what they're able to do there. And then they have a nice, powerful building kind of end chorus piece after that as well. But again, that's a huge chunk of the song. It's very long, but it's good. It's a good track. It's just something a little bit longer you have to sit through. I think it just drags on a touch too long.
Unfortunately, the riff is kind of a lot like Aerials.
Yeah.
You can almost sing Aerials to this riff. I do wish they had like chopped it up a little bit more, like even just resting more often or chopping the rhythm just to change up, because the chords are so similar to Aerials. Like if they had done rhythmically something more different with it, it would have not been as obvious. So I don't like that. I do like at the very end, there's like a little piano and acoustic guitar that just comes in for no reason.
Yeah.
They've just got like a little Beatlesque kind of sound collage thing that happens at the end. So they got like half a point back for that. And altogether, I give them a B+.
Yeah, you have to wonder if years apart and developing on their own kind of brought this back together, both on maybe how they approached it and in some of the writing like that, and putting the song back together. Maybe just years, apart and developing stuff on their own and their side projects. I gave it an A-.
Nice.
Actually. So solid. Protect This Land, B+ for you, A- for me. Right around the same area there.
I like
high grades.
They both sing on it, but it fits together to where they're harmonizing it, and it's like a powerful, like third voice basically that comes from the melding of their two voices. They're not stepping on each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to check out the B side, the flip side, the double A side, the GH, the GONICIDALHUMANOIDZ.
Yes. Let's do that.
Let's hit them with it here on the POLYMUSE. Dang.
That was quite a song.
They put a lot of different riffs in there. That's how they should write all their songs. That's like what I want to hear from these guys.
I thought you'd love this track.
It's pretty good. It's tight. I like the slow chugging, like bow, da-dum, bow. And then they go to like a straight up grindcore, like hit the drums as fast as you can.
Yeah. Just an aggressive, short. This is a much shorter track.
It could have been even
Just
shorter.
banging. Yeah, it should have been like
It
a
should
minute and a
have been
half
even
instead of, what,
shorter.
2.5 minutes.
They're hopefully talking about fighting back against the devil, casting out demons.
Yep. Just similar themes here that they've had before. Not quite the song that we liked. We love Protect This Land for the different elements, and this is kind of back to similar roots for System of a Down. Seems very System of a Down. You could slide this right back into some of their other track listings for older albums. I don't know that it shows as much growth.
No, they could have written more. They could have. It starts with Darren singing, and then Serge kind of does a weird harmony thing. I like the music. I think they could have taken it to yet another level, like vocally, with like some more lyrics or some different characters, or singing. They're always trying to step on each other and sing together. Like he should, more like back and forth of different characters, stuff like that. To match, they did like 5 different riffs in 2 minutes, and then there's only like a handful of lyrics.
Chugging right along with what they're doing instrumentally. So that's cool. Terrorists we're fighting, we're never going to stop. The prostitutes we prosecute have failed us from the start. There's got to be some government tie into that, would be my assumption.
They
some of
buy
the
their crack,
metaphors.
they smack their bitch right here in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Over 2 million Americans are incarcerated in the prison system of the U.S. They're trying to build a prison for you and me to live in.
Yeah.
Drug money is used to sponsor corporate dictators and rig elections around the world.
And we're right back to that here with the final
They're
song that we've got from System of a Down right now.
I'm trying to say those statistics verbatim. I didn't do the second one right. Drug money is used to rig corporate sponsored elections and put dictators in power around the world.
Well, we do have 2 music videos for these. Real quick, Protect This Land, of course, the band, and it's spliced in with people, I would assume. Both of these videos are much more glossy and well produced than some of their earlier stuff. I don't know if it's just period of the time or the fact that these are just really high production. I think they look good. The first one certainly isn't quite as entertaining. Second one's at least got some cool aesthetics to it. Goes from the band and like a warehouse again to kind of a black and white demon chasing thing towards the end. So that one's got some different stuff as far as the music videos concerned.
Some stuff in there, yeah.
And they both have the donate now, at least on YouTube, for their cause.
Yep, to donate to the people.
So what did you grade Genocidal Humanoidz?
I gave it a A-.
You did, okay.
I think it's the right direction. I think it's the right way to write the riffs that I want to hear. I think if they took it to one step farther, it would have been really, really great.
I gave it a B+. These type of songs, I don't hype on the writing as much because that's not the point for these particular types of songs. And I really like how the alliteration goes along with what they're doing, and, when they're playing the guitar riffs and stuff like that. So I really like this song. We basically just flip-flopped our grades from the last one. When I gave an A-, you gave a B for Protect This Land, or B+, and now I gave a B+, and you give an A-. So good tracks here.
Yeah, I want more. I like System of a Down, dude. I'm glad we did every song. It was fun taking the trip back and seeing what the songs meant to us now and what they meant to us as kids. And
do you remember the first time you listened to these?
These new ones?
Yeah. Did you listen to when they came out?
Yeah, stuff just comes out now. And maybe it's because we're older, but it doesn't seem as special. Like, I'm sure it came out and I saw it on my phone and watched it.
Right.
Looking at my hand and...
I'm sure I did the same. I don't remember them quite as well either. I remember thinking they were good tracks.
I remember the day I was sitting in it. No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Didn't quite change our lives, maybe. Maybe it's because it's what it is. But, dude, Toxicity changed our lives. And that Hand album kind of came and went, but then we went back to it when we were a little bit older. And, man, even going back to Steal This Album, that seemed better now than it did, I think, at the time.
I think so.
I think it holds up better. And then Mesmerizing, that stuff blew us away at the time, but I think it doesn't quite hold up quite as good as it did.
Yeah, I think revisiting the first few albums, nothing quite, I don't want to say holds a candle because that's not true. There isn't a huge gap there, but we do appreciate the first couple of albums more, which is incredible considering how quick a turnaround the Toxicity recording was. They were touring off the first album. They quickly wanted to get something together and get something out so that they could kind of ride that initial wave for Toxicity, and then to put out such a masterpiece is really just incredible.
Yeah.
And then to live off kind of album 3, steal this album off of leaked scraps.
Of that one, right.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
And then they, master the Mesmerize Hypnotize thing is like a masterpiece too, just in the fact of each song is like more well crafted, I think. There's a lot less like half-finished songs. Like all 20 songs or whatever are like finished perfect visions. Like even if you don't like the song itself, honestly, the Genocidal one and the Protect the Land are not quite as polished as the Mesmerize and Hypnotize stuff, I feel like.
No?
I feel like it's one step down from like that level of getting the full complete concept and just doing the heck out of it, where it's like, that's that song. Like, there you go. Like, they could have maybe taken them up a notch, I'm thinking. Just a little bit more theatricality, a little bit more power, a little bit more weirdness.
Yeah, that could certainly be. It's just hard to see them doing anything else in the future with how staunch they've been in their stances to go their separate ways and do anything else moving forward, unfortunately.
And we'll talk about that. We have one more episode left, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
The Surge Tankian Elasticity album. We're going to hit you with that next week. We got more final thoughts about System of a Down, about season 2.
Just wanted to say it's wild how these guys came together in the way they did in California there. Came together, found each other through music, through the school system there, grinded. Were found by Rick Rubin there.
Incredible.
Put one album out, put Toxicity out.
Just off the bat, stars. I mean, they had the full sound. Obviously, they grinded up to that point, but as soon as it hit, it hit.
Yeah, and in the context, they really put out 3 albums. The self-titled one that they'd, worked on for years and years and had different tracks on. Then Toxicity, Steal This Album was
kind of the second
kind
half
of
of
reverb
that.
from that. And then Mesmerize, Hypnotize were just
kind of one big thing.
Yeah, so that's just wild. And then they're just creatives that continue to go in their separate directions. So
that's a good point. It was really 3 recording sessions.
3 recording groups.
Yeah, different, where they would, clock in and be like, we're making album number 2. And they got 2 albums out of that.
Yep.
And then the 3rd session, they got 2 albums out of that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So like 3 planning sessions,
right?
Kind of.
They should do more.
That's crazy, and they're such creative people. Loyal to their homeland and just so much ingrained in who they are. Just impressive people, and great to follow them moving forward.
And we will. We'll love them forever, and we'll love you forever. Keep checking out the Polymuse lifestyle brand. We're kicking it to some different styles of music next. We're going to do some other stuff we grew up with. Some stuff that's not quite in the same genre at all. So we'll see you then. Have a Merry Christmas, and we love you. Bye.
Love ya.